Hello again. Welcome back. It was freezing a couple minutes ago, so I had to restart it. It's such a pain when it comes to computers. But anyway, how's everybody doing? It's kind of snowy and chilly over here. And what do you think? It's supposed to be springtime. Well, so much for spring today, anyway. I hope it's nice where you guys are. But this is my painting I did this morning. Um, I finger painted this morning. I don't know if it's dry yet, but this is one I did. I had glitter and orange and red and I think it's gold. But yeah, that's finger painting. And one thing about finger painting is you gotta be willing to get your fingers painted, or you gotta get your fingers inside the paint. And I know some people are afraid to do that. I was afraid at once too, but it's actually kind of fun. Once in a while I'll do it, not all the time. But for some reason I wanted to I felt like doing it today. So I did it. Got my fingers all painted on. But now I got them all clean. So anyway, I figured we can start off painting flowers because it is springtime. Maybe not here today, but it's here, and plus I like flowers, and a lot of people do like flowers. Um, Flowers are just beautiful, either way. Um, so I'm just gonna use yellow and brown for the inside of flower. At first, when I first did flowers, I really was bad at it because flowers to me were pretty hard first time around. But once you start doing it again, 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 you start getting the feel of it, and then it becomes nothing. So now I just gotta find the right brush for it. I think you can use any kind of brush you want. You don't have to use the same brushes that artists use, which I use whatever brush I get a hold of. So anyway, I'm gonna, well, let me see that one. I might have to use, um, that's one thing about black is when you have a black, when you paint your canvas black, it's some of the colors just don't want to come through. So um, what I would do is go on the lighter colors over the dark black. Because if you go dark on dark, it's not gonna turn out very well. So I'm gonna do it this way. Add orange. I'm working on, I don't know what size canvas I have. But let's just say it's not big. So I usually, I usually don't use black background because black tends to not show very good when you're painting something. But of course, when you use yellow over black canvas, you're better off with yellow because yellow is the only color that actually shows through the black. Yellow and I think red does too. Yellow and red are pretty good with black background. As you can see, it kind of looks like I'm probably painting sunflower, which probably I am. So that's probably the only flower that's yellow besides irises or with irises I can't really make a iris. I love irises too. And lilies. Lilies are also my favorite. But I'm learning how to make those too. Well, like I said, flowers are not very easy to make. Depends on what kind of flower. So right now I'm probably just making a sunflower. Um, since sunflowers are really popular right now. Um, excuse my dogs. They always seem to bark when I'm doing this. Excuse my dogs. They're barkers. Sure, a lot of you know that how dogs are, how they bark and stuff. And a lot of you probably don't mind because you probably have dogs yourself. Um, so anyway, so if I usually do, I haven't done flowers for a while because I've done mostly landscapes and stuff like that. Flowers I haven't done for a while. One of these days I want to learn how to. I want to be able to paint a Easter lily for Easter. Um, I gotta learn how to do that too, and I think that's probably the most difficult flower to paint. I'm sure there's a trick. There's a trick to every painting. Um, there's a trick to flowers. There's a trick to landscapes. There's a trick to any painting that you do, and you also have to consider that painting takes a lot of patience, takes a lot of time, and if you don't have either one of those, then, well, I'm not saying you're not gonna be able to paint. I'm just saying that if you don't have either one of those, it's very likely you can make lots and lots of mistakes. Of course, we all make mistakes in life, um, and in paintings. You don't realize how many mistakes I made in my paintings, but you know what? You can always correct your paintings. If I make a mistake through my whole painting, the whole painting's messed up, I just paint over it with white and start over again. And if I make a mistake again on the same painting, I paint it over white again and start over again. I just keep starting over until I like. For one thing, you have to like the painting. Doesn't matter if anybody else does. If you like the painting, go for it. If you don't, then you might have to start over and paint something that you do like. But that's what I learned about painting. And I've been painting now for I think it might have been 2 years now already. Or maybe no, it was yeah, I think it was 2 years that I painted. And it's such a blessing to have painting in my life. I mean, still nothing in my life. I have painting, and it's a real true blessing. What I'm doing now is just making like extra petals inside. of the petals with orange and yellow. But see, that's why I always show you guys on a small canvas. I don't really paint for you guys on a big canvas. I show you guys on a small one. And if you guys like for me to show you on a big canvas, I will do it. But for now, I'll be on the small one. Plus, I kind of like smaller canvases sometimes because that way my painting's not so big. So as you can see, I'm actually painting extra petals inside the petals I have. Okay. There, now you can see there's one inside petal and one outside petal. So, see, when you have a palette, don't put as much paint because that's a lot of wasteful paint. So, what I'm going to do is put yellow out here. Painting to me now is so much easier than when I first tried. I mean, when I first started painting, I was really frustrated. I always thought I couldn't do it. It was really hard at first to paint. But then I got used to painting and now I do it. Well, I should say I do it all the time, but I don't. I do it when I can, and which isn't very often like I used to. But painting can be fun. Of course, for some people it is, for some people it's not. But painting is fun. And it's relaxing, it's not stressful. In any way, it's not stressful. It's just a lot of fun to paint. And only thing about painting is I don't like to waste paint. So that paint is not cheap. But maybe I don't have to waste it. Maybe I can use it on another painting, that paint. Which some people do that. They'll use extra paint for another painting. And of course I haven't done that, but I should. Because I don't like to waste any paint. That's why I try to put very little paint on my palette. It's like I said, paint is not very cheap anymore and it's getting pretty expensive. I tell you, hobbies are very expensive and so is everything else. Whether you're eating or working or doing hobbies, it's just more and more demanding and more expensive. It kind of makes me kind of frustrated because when you want to do something fun, you have to spend a lot of money to do it. And it just really frustrates me. It's like people don't have the money. Some people just don't have the money to do fun things anymore. And But hopefully through time things will get better. I'm hoping. That's my hope every day. Things will get better with prices, and maybe they'll realize people can't afford high prices, so maybe they'll realize, well, we better bring the prices down so people can afford to buy. But I don't know. That's just my hope. But if the hope comes true, I would be happy. If not, I would not still be happy, I guess. Okay, now I'm gonna add white. Usually I do. Usually when I do paintings, I usually do like a shadow. But with flowers, it's kind of hard to do a shadow. So I just do highlights usually. But yeah, so um, I'm gonna go ahead and do this highlight and this highlight on this stem here. Then the petals, I might do a little bit of highlight on the petals. Now, as you can see, everybody does their paintings a little bit different. Now, a lot of artists will make their paintings look real. Me, I don't really do that. Well, some things I will try, but a lot of my paintings are unique. Everybody has their uniqueness about the paintings, and not everybody has to follow the painter. They don't want to paint their own stuff. Everybody has their own technique down, which is nice. It's nice to have your own technique. Guess I should start up painting a lot now again because I kind of forgot how to paint birds and owls and stuff. 'Cause that was my painting at first. I used to paint birds and owls all the time. Now it's like I forgot how to do it. So I've been slacking on my painting. And so hopefully I can get back to how to do that because birds were so easy to paint. I'm sure they still are. Just I gotta get back to my painting more and more. So, as you can see, I don't go on YouTube as much, and I just don't paint as much. Of course, if I want to keep getting better, I know I'm gonna paint more every day, not just once in a while. I'm gonna go over this petal because I can't hardly see it. Some of these colors will dry and then you won't be able to really see them. Which black has a tend to do that to colors. They'll dry and then you won't be able to see the colors. That's why you paint back over and just do it over. I like flowers. I like is sunflowers. I like um, lilies, and I also like irises. Um, they're all beautiful flowers, and if I could paint all of them, I probably would do a good job. Because it might seem hard, but if I go on video and um, ask how to draw this or that, it'll show me how to draw it. Which usually that's what I do. I draw things out before I paint them. But with sunflowers, I really don't need to do that because I already know what they look like and I already know how to paint them. So um, now the insides have to be like I said, ignore my dogs because they're gonna continue barking like that. And sometimes I even try to ignore it. I know how hard it is. I like that. I like when petals are inside the other petals. It makes it look cool. I always talk, I always tell myself that I'm a professional painter. Anybody that's been painting for 2, 3, 4, 5 years are professional painters and they know exactly how to paint it. They know the techniques of how to paint it. They know all the colors, which when I mix colors, I still need practice with that because, well, I guess some colors I pick are pretty nice because I'm picking pretty much the right colors. So, um, yeah, so um, like I said, with painting, you just gotta take your time, be patient, and if you mess up the first time, don't get frustrated. Just correct it. That's all you can do is correct your mistakes. Some of the mistakes probably aren't even going to be corrected, but there are mistakes that we can correct. Next time I do flowers, I'm going to pick a lighter background because I like lighter backgrounds when I do flowers because it pops out more. Um, these dark, like these darker backgrounds, they're okay for like yellow flowers, sunflowers, but you don't, like I said, you don't want to put a dark background on a dark foreground because if you do that, it's all going to be one color and then you won't be able to see uh, you won't be able to see the foreground. So um, you can use gray. Gray's a pretty good color to use for a background. The only back the only colors I use for background is probably gray and maybe white. Well, not white, but gray and blue for the sky and green you can use for grass. Or if you're doing landscapes, I would use blue, green for the grass. and white for the clouds. That's for landscape. With just flowers, I'll probably next time I'll probably use gray, and I think you can use orange too, maybe. I don't know. Orange and red just don't mix very well, but yeah, I pretty much use blue, light blue, gray, and pink. Pink too, be a background. But you just gotta pick and choose what background you want. That's why I look at pictures and get ideas on what background I can get. Um, that helps me. I don't basically paint the same picture, but I just get ideas with the background stuff. Sometimes I don't know background to use, and so the fish that you see on the wall there, I can see it from here. Fish that you see on the wall there, I used I think it was orange and yellow, and look how pretty it turned out. The fish you could see, the stuff on the ground you could see, and when I do animals like that tiger up there, I use pink. You can do that, or even orange, yellow. Um, See, I get ideas from these pictures on my walls too. I get ideas of what background I can use. This flower one that I have on the wall over here, you can't see it. The this flowery one on the wall, I use purple background and paint the flowers red. So see, you can do that. But don't, I hardly ever use black. I really don't know why I used black this time, but I guess I just want to take my chances. Sometimes I take my chances at things, which is probably not a good thing, but now I'm gonna put grass down. And grass is really easy to paint because all you do is pretty much make lines. And trees are pretty easy too. Maybe next time I go on YouTube, maybe I can paint a tree. Maybe I can paint landscape with a waterfall or something. Even waterfalls, I used to do real good. Now it's like I slacked on my painting so much that I forgot half of how to do those even. And hopefully I get back on track real soon. I mean, I'm sure I can get it back. I'm sure I can get my memory back to where I used to be able to do waterfalls and stuff. I mean, it can't be really that hard. So even though I don't paint much, I still like watch painting videos, and that keeps my mind active, where I don't have to forget a lot. Of course, it's supposed to be a spring picture, but it's more, I guess you could say it's more like a fall picture, I guess. Because the flowers are not in a bright background, they're in a dark background like it's fall. Which when I go on YouTube, I never know what I'm going to paint until I start doing it. That's my problem. I don't plan ahead, which I'm sure a lot of painters plan ahead. But me, I just go with the flow. I just paint. I don't even worry about what it's going to be or whatever. As long as I'm happy with it, that's all that matters. I could tell everybody, you have to be happy with your own hobby. If you're not happy, then don't do it or do something else that makes you happy or whatever. All I can say is I'm very happy with painting, and that's my lifelong hobby. So I'll probably be painting till the day I die. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this painting, and I hope everybody has a good day and stay warm if it's cold, or stay cool if it's warm. Anyway, you get the point. Anyway, take care, everybody, and I will see you again soon. Bye now.